you're doing well and welcome. My name is Ali, and in this video I want to show you a short full body warm-up that I really enjoy doing for myself, and I want to share it with you. It's a nice little warm-up that you can use first thing in the day to just wake up the body, or as a warm-up for a bigger training session. The idea of this warm-up is to go through 3 different layers. The first layer being really close to the ground with the hips fully connected to the ground. The second layer is kind of this middle layer of being in a squat or in this animal-like position. And the third layer is coming into full standing position. The goal is to warm up different joints of the body, especially the lower body and the hips, but also the spine, the hands and the wrist, and the shoulders. Within each of these layers, I'll show you a few different positions that we can get into that provide a nice stretch by itself. But I also want to show you a nice little way of going through all of this in an open and playful exploration. Because in my opinion, not every warm-up or every session has to be so structured and rigid. And once you have a few different positions and movements to play with, you can kind of see how you feel, what you want to do, what part of your body needs a little bit more attention, and you can just go through it on your own with a nice little song playing in the background, and you can have it be soft and easy and playful and not so structured and rigid. That's the approach that I really like to take, especially with my warm-ups, and I hope you also like it as well. So let's dive in and I'll show you what I mean. We'll start on the floor with the hips on the ground. Take the hands behind us, feet forward, a little bit wider than the hips. The first thing is going for windshield wipers from side to side with the knees. But instead of just going casually from one side to the other side, let's focus on having the leading leg going up first so we can engage the glutes a lot here for this external rotation to happen. And when I can't go anymore, then the other one follows to the other side. Same thing. The first leg lifts up first, go as far as possible, and then I let the other one follow. Now, to make this even a little bit more engaging, we can have either super soft touch of the fingers on the floor or even no hands on the floor. So it makes my job a little bit harder because now I have to really sit down into the ground as I also sit tall. And bring quite a bit of engagement in my lower body for this to happen. So that's one pattern. The other pattern we're going to explore is every time we come to one side, we have the option of folding forward. And when I fold forward, I hinge from the hips and try to lengthen forward. Use my hands to touch the floor. Take a breath here, find a stretch. You can try different angles to see what gives you the best stretch. And then same thing on the other side, hinging from the hips, folding forward, finding a glute stretch, and coming up. And the third thing we're going to look at is, instead of windshield wipering to the other side, I'm going to think of straightening my leg out in a straight position on the ground. Try to sit as tall as possible as I circle forward to the other side, and then bring my legs in again, collect them in, and I can reverse. So I can straighten the legs out. Here I have to really press down into my sitting bones so I can sit tall. Circle to the other side and collect the legs in. So let's mix up all these 3 movements again. So we have the windshield wiper from side to side. We have the fold forward to both sides. And then we also have this pattern of coming to a straddle in a straight leg position and collecting in again. So we can just mix it all together, play a song for a couple of minutes. You can just go between all of these different positions, and it's going to be really nice for the hips. I'll demo so you can see. Beautiful. Now the next thing is to bring ourselves into a deep squat. So what we can do from here, we can take one hand behind us, bring the legs in, and then just push our weight on top of the feet. You can even practice this a couple of times. It will come in handy later. So using a hand to bring yourself slowly down, and then pushing again on top of the feet. Same thing on the other side. I can slowly bring my hips down and then push up. Now there's two positions we'll look at here. First one is a squat itself. Now this can be a challenging position for some people, so one option is to just stay here. If you are comfortable in a squat, you can start to shift your weight from side to side. Maybe even try to go low with the chest in between knees. Another really nice thing is to use one hand, very gently push the knee out to the side, which will give you a nice stretch in the inner thighs and the groin area. Same thing other side. And then the next position here we're going to visit is going onto our hands. So I can just use my hand in front of me to walk them forward and bring myself into this position of being on all four limbs. Now, of course, we can visit the famous downward facing dog here, where we send our chest back, hips up. We can straighten one leg at a time. Visit the hamstrings and the calves. But it doesn't have to be limited here. I can use my hands also to bring myself forward, even finding a little back bend here, the arms straight. And I can go back whenever I want into a squat. So these are the two positions we're going to work with, the squat and being on all fours, and all the different variations of it we're going to explore for a couple of minutes. Same idea as before, we can just play a song and go between the different variations. So a quick demo here. Again, I can go forward, find a back bend, go into down dog. I can even shift my weight into one hand to squat, warm up my inner thighs a little bit more, shift the weight from side to side, and then go forward again. Excellent. Now the next thing is to bring yourselves up into a forward fold position. So bringing the hips up, having our upper body hanging over the legs. The knees don't have to be straight. They can be generously bent as much as you want. And you just shake it out here. You can shake out the legs. Sway from side to side as you feel a different size of the stretch. So that's one position here. The next position is to just keep the spine rounded. Slowly go up to standing. And from standing, I can shake it out even more. Bring some bouncing. I can swing from side to side with the arms being very loose. And that's it, just going from forward fold to standing and then going back down again. When I go back down, I can tuck my chin in, let my spine round again. Go here, shake it out again, and then go back up. And same idea, again for a minute or two, we can go back and forth between these two positions. So let's go. Awesome. So now we had the layer of being on the floor, warming up our hips there. We had the layer of being in a squat on all fours. And then we also had the higher layer of going from a forward fold to standing and exploring all of that. Now, the final exploration, we can actually mix it all up together. So this will be another song, maybe even 2 songs, just to go from all the positions towards each other, mixing it all together. It's going for a fun little warm-up exploration. Again, don't think of it as being structured, of having to follow a certain order. You can make up your own transitions, you can be creative and see how it goes. Again, this is all about you feeling good with the warm-ups, waking up the body, waking up the different joints, and yeah, don't be afraid to just be creative. I'll show you a quick demo, so feel free to get inspiration, but remember, you can totally do your own thing depending on what feels good for you. Okay, that's it. I hope you got the idea. Again, go ahead and play with this yourself. Just going from the layer of the floor to this middle crawling layer to this standing layer, and exploring everything in between. Think of warming up your spine, your hips, your shoulders, your wrists, and hopefully this will feel really, really good. Take care.